Nick and Annette, it's lovely to see your garden. I've heard a lot about it and I'm most impressed. This is the garden of Andrew Parker Bowles, the former garden, and Camilla.
Yes.
And you bought it from them after they're sadly divorced. And this was a private little space, beautifully private. It's interesting that you've got a wall garden there, and then you've got, it's like it was another wall garden.
Well, I think this was always the secret place where people came.
Maybe this was the herb garden, do you think?
Well,
in times
that's a
gone by.
lovely poem, and it must say all about the herbs,
Yes.
doesn't it?
So maybe that was a kitchen garden, and herb gardens were big, weren't they? Very big.
Yes.
And I love the seat where you've got this interesting detail with
Yes,
the wood
that was here.
and the stone.
We bought it. It is as we bought it.
I'm sure we replaced the
It is.
timber.
Have you? Have
Yeah.
you? And obviously you, with your rock musician background and your love of Ferraris and all things motors, but you're the head gardener, you're really on it, you're mowing the lawn the whole time, you're cultivating the vegetables.
Are you on drugs?
Psychedelic from the Pink Floyd. Yes. But you are very healthy living, I have to say. You're giving this air off that thing, but your vegetable garden next door I think is sublime, isn't it? And you're very keen on your organic garden.
Very important, the organic.
And you grow your own meat.
Yes.
And you were just saying you've got your big garden opening coming up, and last year you raised over £100,000.
Well, what's wonderful is we do it for two fantastic charities, and do you know, we feel terribly fortunate, so it's actually lovely to be able to give something back and enjoy the process. So
Yes.
by having the garden event, we actually do our gardens properly and make it all beautiful.
Yeah. It gives you reason, doesn't
Yes.
it, just to pep it up and
Yes.
pay that extra attention
And
to
air
the
ambulance,
edges.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and also air ambulance, you know, gosh.
Yeah.
I hope I don't ever need it, but they are spectacular, especially as I ride horses. You see what the work they do.
Yeah.
And the Bobby Van Trust, who does a wonderful charity for people who are over the age of 60 who've been victims of crime, abuse and that sort of thing. And it's a bit like if you're a victim of crime, somebody breaks your door down, you're over 60, the police don't mend it, you know, and
So it just repairs. Does it repair them mentally?
you
Because I
call
imagine a
them-
lot of people
yes.
feel very insecure, having been attacked or robbed. And so does it give them therapy as well, or is it
well,
just physical
I think
repair?
the main thing is Jenny Shaw, who runs it, it has expanded its remit slightly, so it probably does. I don't know.
Well, they do what they will do sometimes is install a CCTV.
Oh, right, and that makes you feel much more.
Yeah.
So
And they'll also give you advice on what other things to do as well, won't
Yeah.
they? Yeah, sorry, I
Yeah.
interrupted you.
So though this is a really nice space, you've got so many beautiful pelargoniums next door in your
Thank you.
greenhouse. You might
I
put them out
don't
to
ever
your
know the
natives.
name of anything, so it's wonderful.
But you did, when I said you've got lemon verbena, you
Oh,
knew
yes.
exactly what I meant.
Because I insisted on planting that one, because I love the drinking
Smell.
it
It's
and the
lovely,
smell and
yeah.
just rubbing. So in our walkway, which we have, are they geraniums? You rub the and you
Scented geraniums.
Scented geraniums. we have.
Pelargoniums.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. Is
yes.
that what they call it? Yeah.
Well, they are people. Apparently, Queen Victoria saw a pelargonium, and she thought it was a geranium. And so she said, "Oh, what wonderful geraniums!" And since then, pelargoniums, confusingly, are called geraniums. So you have the hardy geraniums, the ones that as a herbaceous plant, which we all grow and love, and then you have the pelargoniums not related, which are more tender.
She's got a lot to blame
Naughty
for,
woman,
isn't she?
naughty woman. Yes. Anyway, will you show me your lovely wall garden?
Yes, yes.
So is this your favourite part of the garden?
I sort of love everywhere, actually, because obviously for vegetables, this is my favourite, but we created this with the help of Rupert Golby, the garden designer,
Yes.
when we were doing our first garden opening for charity. And so we had this. I think we bought this as
Yeah,
well.
I
We
think
bought
this
it
came
from the Queen's sister.
Yeah.
Oh,
Annabelle.
right.
She had a, what was it called? Not a reclamation, but an antiques
Yeah.
Oh, right. It's a lovely stone pool,
Yes,
isn't it? Really.
yes.
It looks quite French to me, doesn't it?
She could answer that.
Yes. And then the fountain.
Yes, which we haven't got running at the moment because we're cleaning it for the garden opening, so it's running. But all this was created by Rupert.
So Rupert designed the metalwork, and they had it made up.
And then also the walkways, if you see the metal
I
archways,
see.
he suggested. So suddenly it made it.
More of a statement.
Yeah,
and the 3D.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. And he helped with our, we call it our little lake, don't we?
Your little lake. It's lovely
in the front.
Yeah, lake with
because
the swans.
it was where they used to put the kitchen, the grass cuttings, I think. So
Yeah,
we
it was a
created
sort of
that.
compost heap.
Yes,
Yeah.
they did have a little pond there, but we've expanded their ideas, I think.
No, it's
But
really
the kitchen garden's always been beautiful,
and it feels so sheltered. You can see why they did
Yes,
them, didn't you? You had
yes.
this amazing
Yes.
microclimate to really boost your vegetables on. And I love the way you've mixed your irises and peonies and roses and foxgloves and sedum with your veg.
yes,
It's just all nice, little fruit bushes
And in
over there.
fact,
Very
I
high
don't
growth
even.
Very high grove, yes. But they had that before. Did Camilla and Andrew have that touch here before?
I think we kept. They had a lot of roses growing
Yes.
along the walkway, so I think we've kept. Well, we've kept the roses. Frank, obviously, it has been 30-something years, so things have evolved. You know,
things move around.
So, but there were definitely foxgloves here before, and the layout was basically the same. So the flowers, herbaceous borders, and then the vegetables in the
quadrants behind.
exactly.
It's a very simple layout that they use in lots of places, but it works really well,
Yes,
doesn't it? And I love I'm very envious of your greenhouse there. So the other bit that I find fascinating is the area around your swimming pool. I think that works really well, the way you've put that in. And with your architectural background, you were instrumental, were you, in keeping the trees? You both wanted to keep the orchard trees around it.
Yeah, well, that was quite important because grubbing up an entire orchard would have felt like vandalism.
Yes.
And they are. I mean, it's a great selection. It's clearly planned so that you can have apples from over quite a long period of time.
August, September, October, November, and you've got keepers and ones
horses who eat them all.
And pigs.
And pigs, and we make our own apple juice.
Oh, lovely.
So,
yeah. So you've got your cows, your sheep, your pigs, so you're fairly self-sufficient, and all your vegetables and your chickens,
Yeah.
So it is a sort of country idyll, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
The trouble is, it's like anything, it's all fruits at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's all or nothing, isn't it?
I like peas, but not 2 kilos of them.
So the magic of your house, I mean, the lovely bell outside in the front, I thought was a really nice touch. And is there anything major that you changed apart from the veg garden when you took it over?
Because the stables where the Queen kept her horses, there was a field shelter, so I moved all the tack room and everything and created stables in the field because it was very hard to drive round. It was very narrow.
Right.
So logical things. You know,
and then you built the wonderful studio, your recording studio there. So really you've got everything you want here, but you're busy. I mean, you're
the children, they're gone.
Yes. So you're busy with your Ferraris, your racing, your music. You're going on tour soon.
Yep.
So how much time do you realistically then swanning around at home? Not that you swan around because you're working, aren't you, in the studio and things?
I think more and more. What's quite nice is that I think we're now, what used to be weekenders, we're now actually, it's the other way round. So if we're doing things in London, we'll try and push all that into a couple of days.
Yeah.
And our children come with all their friends.
Oh, lovely.
Because they love
yes.
it. We actually holiday homes for our kids' friends and their friends, aren't we?
Yeah, it's really
and the
annoying.
grandchildren, it's lovely as well.
So really, there's nothing that you've got in London you haven't got here.
It has nothing, London, then, apart from some friends.
Apart from some friends. Chelsea, you like Chelsea, you enjoy Chelsea, that's where I met you.
I love Chelsea, and I think it's one of those odd things that it's also quite difficult to get tickets, and so you always think, oh, what I managed to get some, it seems a treat. But
Yes.
then when we go, we see so many friends there. You know, that was just walking up to the gate, wasn't it?
Going with Nicky Haslam was a bit of a hazard because every other person or snapper was there. Oh, Nicky, just one for me, Nicky. It was amazing. He is so admired, isn't he?
Yes,
and
he is, and entertaining.
recognised and entertaining. Yeah, he does sing well for his supper, I have to say.
Yes.
But which was your favourite garden there?
I can't remember a favourite one. What I really liked was the fact that so many of them now are just that bit wilder, and there's a lot of water features.
Yes.
Was the really noticeable thing, that virtually all of them had some sort of running water thing, which I really like.
I think it is unusual though for a Chelsea garden not to have a water feature. And I always remember when you're building a garden, you have 3 weeks to build them up, and in the last week you start filling your water feature, and because you put them in so fast, most of them leak. You often have a hose coming in the back, running continuously, pulling it out when the judges come, and then pushing it back in. And I remember we did a tree house once with a moat around it. And for some reason, I'd been out or something, and I came back at like 12 o'clock at night, and the moat was nearly empty. And it was like, oh my God, I'm having to rush out and get the hoses and things in the middle of the dark at Chelsea, trying to get it filled.
From another pond, then.
No, and the judges were coming the next day, so they're always full. I don't know, but you know, a hole you can easily get.
Yes.
And I've seen foxes running around, you know, at night and things, so you don't know what's going on really there.
Yes.
I think the whole wildlife thing is they are much more naturalistic, aren't
and
they?
what was the one? Was it the Japanese garden
with all the moss?
With the moss. I loved that. And just, you know, there was a sort of healing garden, I think, and I just quite like all those things that give you a feeling as well as you walk in. And then there was the Terence Higgins Trust garden that was particularly nice, I think. There were so many lovely ones. You just had a wonderful feeling walking around this time, very relaxed. And I don't know if that's also because I also know where everything is now.
Look, I think it's because you were on press day. So normally when you're going on a public day, it is absolutely cram full. And that disorientates you because you have to push to get to where you want to go. But it was, you know, virtually empty on press day, wasn't it, for people? So that it's easier, don't you think, to find your way around?
Although in the past, we've only been invited the last couple of press days, haven't we? Whereas before that I used to buy tickets, but but then it was an evening.
An evening, so it was not the high peak period.
There was at least one where it was pitch black, actually.
Yes, but that was the COVID one, the first one after COVID, and it was so dark.
September, yes, it would be, wouldn't it? Yeah. So I just think it must be the most amazing foil to your life, performing on the stage, to come back to this after, you know, months on tour. Although you don't do the tour bus bit, do you?
Yes.
Oh, you do? You've got a tour bus
That's why
now.
I'm not going. It's a bus.
I thought you'd have a tour plane or a tour helicopter.
No, none of
Those
that.
were the good old days, I think.
Oh, really? Good heavens. So you enjoy life on the tour bus. What is it like? You all get together?
I mean, if you want an example of it, I mean, Bob Dylan drives their tour bus.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So has he an HGV or don't you need one? It's just a little tour bus. I suppose they're not.
This was Bob was. We're talking America, where the rules are different.
Oh, I see.
I wouldn't care to drive our tour bus.
Even you, who drives Ferraris, Bugattis,
and also it's overnight. He can't do the show drive overnight.
I suppose that's that. I suppose that's that. Anyway, no, it's lovely to see your idyll. It's very nice indeed, and thank you very much for showing us around.
Thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.